The weirdest punishments ever. Picture this. You break the law today and get a fine, maybe some jail time. Back then, you might get stomped by an elephant, roasted in a giant bronze cow, or forced to eat sausages until you explode. Yeah, history wasn't just weird, it was WTF level weird. So grab your seat, hold on to your afro if you've got one, because today we're counting down the 10 strangest deaths and punishments in history. And trust me, number 1 will make you afraid of laundry forever. 10. The Scold's Bridle. Ah, medieval Europe. A place where women could get punished for talking too much. Enter the Scold's Bridle. Imagine a giant iron muzzle strapped to your head, spikes pressing against your tongue if you dared to speak. Women were paraded through town like medieval Hannibal Lecters, while everyone laughed. Now, I complain, when YouTube autoplays the wrong video. Imagine sneezing in an iron muzzle. Achoo! And suddenly, your tongue looks like a pincushion. 9. Execution by elephant. Forget gallows. Forget guillotines. In ancient India and Southeast Asia, rulers had a pet elephant executioner. These beasts were trained to step, crush, or toss prisoners like rag dolls. And get this, elephants were smart enough to make it quick, or to drag it out for hours. Picture it. You're lying there, crowd screaming, and Dumbo's cousin slowly raises his foot. Do you pray? Do you scream? Or do you just hope he misses and turns you into a pancake instead of spaghetti? 8. The Cadaver Synod. Now this one is straight out of a horror comedy. In 897, Pope Stephen VI dug up a dead pope. Pope Formosus dressed him in robes, propped him on a throne, and put him on trial. Yes, a corpse trial. A deacon had to stand next to the body and answer questions. Like, do you plead guilty? Silence. I'll take that as a yes. Of course, the corpse lost. His body was stripped, mutilated, and tossed in the Tiber River. Imagine going to church that week. Father, forgive me, for I, oh my God, is that a dead guy in court? 7. Dancing Plague of 1518. If you thought TikTok dance challenges were bad, history said, hold my beer. In Strasbourg, 1518, one woman started dancing uncontrollably. Within a week, dozens joined. Within a month, hundreds. They danced day and night, unable to stop. And yes, some literally danced themselves to death. No music, no DJ, just people body popping until they dropped. Scientists think it was food poisoning from moldy bread. I say it was the first ever Fortnite emote gone too far. 6. The Brazen Bull. Now this one is nightmare fuel. Ancient Greeks invented the brazen bull, a hollow bronze statue shaped like a bull. Prisoner goes inside, fire underneath, victim roasts alive. And here's the sick twist. The bull's design turns screams into sounds like a roaring animal. Imagine being in the crowd, clapping, and then you realize the moo is actually Steve cooking alive. Oh, and karma moment. The inventor of the bull? He was the first guy tossed in. Talk about getting grilled on your own invention. 5. The Lead Sprinkler. Sounds like a fun summer toy, right? Nope. The lead sprinkler was an Inquisition torture device. It was basically a metal ball on a chain, filled with molten lead or boiling oil. Executioners swung it and sprinkled burning liquid all over the victim's body. That's not a punishment. That's medieval fondue. And you're the cheese. 4th, rat torture. Rats are bad enough when they sneak into your kitchen. Now imagine one gnawing its way through you. Executioners strapped a cage of live rats to someone's body, then heated the cage. With nowhere else to go, the rats burrowed down through flesh. You wouldn't just scream, you'd scream in surround sound. This wasn't punishment. This was nightmare fuel. Whoever invented it definitely wasn't invited to parties. 3rd, Qin Shi Huang's scholars. China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, hated being disagreed with. So when scholars criticized him, he didn't just roll his eyes, he buried hundreds of them alive. Picture being shoved into a pit, dirt falling, and the last thing you hear is your colleague muttering, "Told you we should have just said yes." This wasn't just death. This was censorship with a shovel. 2. Death by sausage. Yes, sausage. In 1032, Pope John XII decided one priest would be hanged, and the other would be forced to eat so many sausages he'd die. Death by meat. Forget eat until you're full. This was eat until your funeral. And honestly, if I had to choose, hang me. Because the thought of dying bloated with medieval sausage is just, nope. 1. The death of Draco, the lawgiver. Finally, number 1, and it's both tragic and ridiculous. Draco, the Athenian lawmaker, was so loved that people honored him by showering him with cloaks. But they didn't stop. They hurled so many garments, tunics, and robes that he literally suffocated under the pile. He died buried in love and laundry. Imagine your obituary. Here lies Draco, crushed to death by too many hugs in cotton form. The guy who gave us draconian laws met the fluffiest death in history. So let's recap. Women muzzled for talking. Elephants as executioners. A dead pope on trial. People dancing until they dropped. And a lawmaker smothered by sweaters. History wasn't civilized. It was chaotic, bizarre, and sometimes downright comedic. Which of these punishments or deaths shocked you the most? Drop it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this wild ride, smash that like button harder than an elephant stomping on a prisoner.